The 7-seater MPV market is one of the most cutthroat in the industry, where you got models ranging from top of the line ones that feature unlimited tech, unbelievable power. But what if you're just looking for a solid, reliable vehicle? Well, that's what we're gonna look at today. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here for Zigwheels.Ph, and today we'll be looking at the Suzuki Ertiga. Now, starting with the front end, the Suzuki Ertiga features this nice horizontal chrome grille up front that's pretty much upright. This actually helps you out when you're driving, because when you're driving this type of thing, you'd really want to see where the hood is at so that you can have more visibility. It has nice headlamps right here. Those are halogen headlamps, but at least they're projector headlamps, and you've got fog lamps right there. Overall, the short, stout design of the front offers little drama in terms of design language, but it's a clean look that I most certainly like, and most people in this particular market are actually looking for this kind of look without being, too sporty or too fancy. This is just perfect for me. Right, so heading over to the side profile of the Suzuki Ertiga, you'd find more of that less drama approach that I think a lot of people in this segment are looking for. You've got your 15-inch multi-spoke alloy wheels there. It's got none of that two-tone machined look. You don't even have any tail lamp indicators next to the side mirrors, but you've got the classic side cheeks right there, which I really appreciate. Now, you got this nice, clean-looking character line at the side profile, but check this out. The one thing that I appreciate about the Suzuki Ertiga is, of course, how large these doors are. So these doors actually open up to almost 90 degrees out, and they have 3 levels of opening. So if you're opening up in tight parking spaces, you can just open up right here, and right here, and right here. No problem. And the great part of the Suzuki Ertiga is that even though it looks low, it actually rides on 180 millimeters of ground clearance. So it's not exactly SUV high, but if you're in a pinch, you can definitely take this on the road less traveled. Finally, you've got the rear panel right here. It's got that floating roof design. I think that's the only modern thing that you can find right here. But it's something that you can definitely appreciate. But let's head over right in the back so that I can show you exactly where you can find most of the drama. Now, here at the rear section is where you'll find my favorite part, these tail lamps. These L-shaped tail lamps are the touch of modernity that this particular car really needs. You also have these 2 reflectors on each side that completes the overall look. There's no pretensions of being sporty at all. So you have access to this huge hatch, which you don't need any power lift gates because it's pretty light and it's one less thing to worry about braking. And then it gives you access to all this space in the back. Even though you have the 3rd row seats up, you still have enough room for your baggage. And if you need even more space, you can fold those seats down, and they fold awfully flat, and you have access to this really cavernous space, which is more than enough for a few weeks worth of groceries or even a few buy-in boxes. And if you need even more space than that, you can actually fold the 2nd row seats down, and you can even load a lot more stuff. Just no more space for any more people. But check this out, you got compartments below. It's just really deep, really nice. So what they did was that they put this spare tire underneath the vehicle, so it won't have any compromises with space. Let's take a look at the inside, because that's what matters with 7-seater MPVs. How does it carry people around? Let's take a look. So inside the Suzuki Ertiga, you'd appreciate how Suzuki has given much thought into the design of the dashboard, the seats. Everything's really well made. Despite the hard touch plastics all around, and even the steering wheel, it's not leather wrapped, you'd still appreciate the look and how modern it is inside. So this shifter right here is in the right position for me, at least. It's not too low, it's not too high, it's just right. Now the steering wheel lacks any media or any control buttons whatsoever. It's just this nice D-shaped steering wheel. Now I want to talk about the AC vents. The AC vents have this modern looking one-piece integrated slats to it that kind of reminds you of more modern cars. I won't say what those cars are. You could probably leave that in the comment section down below, but check them out. They don't have any individual pods to it. That kind of looks like they're not supposed to be there. Instead, they have those horizontal slats to it, and it's kind of nice. And the dashboard. The dashboard, like I said, it's hard plastics, but the way they're molded into each other creates that illusion of space and at least a little bit of luxury to it. But check this out. They have this 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system. Now, even though you're driving in a basic MPV or a basic car, you can't forget about smartphone integration, and that's where Suzuki has definitely that win. This particular home screen is pretty responsive, plus you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All you have to do is just hook up your USB cable right there at the bottom. Right next to the USB cable at the bottom here is the all-powerful aux jack. The audio here is amazing. Even though you have just 4 speakers all around, you can definitely feel the bass. You've got this large bottle openers next to the door panels there. You can actually fit an entire 1.5 liter bottle there. You got cup holders right here. You don't have any center armrests, unfortunately, but for this type of vehicle at this price point, that's perfectly fine. So enough of the front, let's check out the rear, which really matters in these types of vehicles. So let's go. So the second row seats of the Suzuki Ertiga is really comfortable for me. Although I'm sitting behind my own natural driving position, I still have tons of knee room and leg room. But the thing that I really love about this is the headroom. Even though you have this separate AC vents for the second and third row seats, you still have a lot of headroom, and that's because of the high greenhouse, as you can see from the outside. It's also got a flat floor implementation right here. It's pretty flat, so you can actually fit 3 people in the back. You won't find any much toys in the back, except for a single power outlet. It's a 12-volt socket and a nice center armrest. Unfortunately, the center armrest does not have any cup holders, but it's soft and it's pretty comfortable. And now I really hate it to check out the third row seats, but we certainly have to. That's part of the job, so I can show you guys how I fit in the back. I'm not very optimistic about this, but let's check it out anyway. So to get into the third row seats, you gotta tumble these seats and then slide them forward. All right, and I'm in. I can fit the third row seats. Of course, you gotta put some second row passengers in there, so pull this up. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, you can slide them forward. There. You know what? This is not a bad place to be at. Even though I have reduced knee room compared to the second row, I still find myself comfortable in the back. Okay. This is a pass for me, but if I'm going out of town, I wouldn't want to be in the third row seats. Now I know what you're waiting for. How does the Suzuki Ertiga perform? Let's take this for a drive. Now the first thing that comes to mind right away is how upright the driving position really is. Now since I can adjust my driving height, it's pretty much as it is, but for a vehicle this type, that really doesn't matter because you really have to see the road ahead of you, and this is exactly what it is. I can see the hood right there. Visibility is amazing. Under the hood, you've got a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, and that makes around 103 horsepower and 136 newton meters torque. The Suzuki Ertiga is all about low-end torque, low-end power. I actually barely cracked 2,000 RPM in this thing, which is going to be great for fuel economy. I'll talk about that later on, but that also makes it a great cruiser, yeah? So driving around the city below 2,000 RPM, see, it's just a smooth drive overall. But if you want to get it up to power, it gets a bit noisy. You see, this is powered by a 4-speed automatic transmission. Again, none of that fancy transmissions that are no CVTs, no dual clutch transmissions, but this is available with a 5-speed manual. Suspension wise, it's got McPherson struts up front and a rear torsion bar suspension right there. Now about the suspension, it actually rides pretty smooth inside, even though we only have 2 passengers here. Unlike other MPVs where you actually have to get it full in order to get the most optimum ride quality. In here, it's very comfortable, it's solid, and that's thanks in part to Suzuki's hardtech technology. Suzuki's proud of that particular system because that's where they actually made the body a little bit more rigid than usual, than most other cars, and that in turn gives you not just better handling and better ride quality, but better safety as well. Speaking of safety, you'd find just the basic amenities in the Suzuki Ertiga. You got dual front airbags, you got ABS with electronic brake force distribution, you've got your rear parking sensors, but you don't have a rear camera to speak of. Again, it's about basic motoring, yeah? So if you have less parts to worry about, less parts to think about, you have more time enjoying the drive. Around the city, we clocked in at around 9 to 10 kilometers per liter. Now, considering this is a 7-seater MPV, that's just great. On the open road, I got around 15 to 16 kilometers per liter on this thing. A lot of people have been wondering how I measure fuel consumption. Now, I don't do hypermiling techniques. I don't turn the AC off. I don't hold back from revving the engine high up. I just do normal driving. And that's how it's supposed to be anyway. If you're buying a brand new car, you want to be as comfortable as possible. So whenever I test fuel economy figures, that's how I do it. So pricing for the Suzuki Ertiga starts at 763,000 pesos for the entry-level manual transmission GA model, which lacks some of the niceties like the screen, and well, that's basically it. You lack the wheels. The wheels they have steel wheels instead of alloy wheels. Now, if you want to move up to an upper tier, the manual of the GL variant starts at 883,000 pesos. 883,000 pesos gets you everything that we talked about, except that it comes in a manual. Now, if you want the 4-speed automatic, you still get a great deal, 923,000 pesos. Where would you find a 7-seater SUV with all these things for 923,000 pesos? You might be able to find one, but it's going to be hard. The choices are going to be hard, definitely hard to get. But yeah, for that price and for the basic amenities that you're getting, it's not a bad deal at all. So there you have it, folks. Normcore driving at its finest. The Suzuki Ertiga features all the basic things that you need at a very affordable price. Plus, it has less things to break, so less things to worry about in the future. But what do you think? Do you think that this still has what it takes to take on the 7-seater compact MPV market? Drop us a comment in the comment section down below. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, why don't you do so and like this video and the other videos as well, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Once again, this is Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph, and I'll see you guys next time.